their testimony, their ministry. Certainly under Mr. Owens' leadership, that has continued.
Lucky for them, they had a fan, and an important one. Brian Owens sees the big picture when it comes to this choir.
My wife and I and my 2 teenage children went to see the Indigo Girls
We're so happy to be in Atlanta.
at Chastain Park.
Home.
One of the graduates of the choir for the Voices of Hope. I didn't say anything about her background. A former person in bonds, now singing on stage with the National Recording Act. Got a standing ovation.
It was a very moving experience.
Programs like this, like the Voices of Hope, besides being beneficial to the women themselves, I think really has a deeper meaning.
The choir was relocated intact to Alto, Georgia, well over an hour north of Atlanta. Once a maximum security prison for men, then a facility for youthful offenders, the Lee Arrendale State Prison now houses 1,700 female offenders.
If you don't believe that I've been redeemed, Lord, the angels in heaven does sign my name.
I go to my detail, but I'm just cleaning up. Nobody pays that any attention with me singing the Lord's word.
Well, I said, follow me down to that old Jordan stream. The angels in heaven does sign my name.
In a prison setting, the choir is not only an enjoyable activity for the women, but it is a ministry. It's a way of escape without going anywhere. It takes them out of the harsh realities of where they are and draws them into the heart of God.
When you watch these women sing and you look into their eyes, they're not in prison. They're not in chains. They're not in a prison uniform. They're somewhere else.
Their singing gives them an opportunity to escape without going anywhere.
Good Lord, I know I've been changed. I said that I know I've been changed. Good Lord, I know I've been changed. Oh.
Tanisha, glad to hear you.
Among the first to audition at Arrendale was Tanisha Sims.
I know you have a really strong voice, and I've got about 5 or 6 more slots.
His eye is on the sparrow, and I know, no, he watches me.
Good. We're going to meet on Tuesdays at 3:30.
Everybody started talking about the interviews.
Like other inmates at Arrendale, Candace Overstreet was excited to hear about the choir.
So we signed up for it.
We know that a lot of women are in prison largely because of a lack of self-esteem. And nothing gives you more self-esteem than singing in a choir. They say that singing in the choir
Right. Gives them a voice.
them to escape without going anywhere.
Yeah, that's right. It allows them to have a voice because, see, this is so much a part of what their experience has been that they didn't matter. They were made to feel they have no value.
It makes me feel useful because it inspires me, and I feel like it inspires even my fellow choir members. So I enjoy it. It lifts me up every day, every Tuesday to be exact.
In all the earth,
Kathy Siebold, even joins in from time to time.
You know, we had a life before we came here, and we have a life in here. And it's all about community. My name is Candace Overstreet. My number is 852-993. And I've served 17 years off of a 40-year sentence for manslaughter.
Candace Overstreet does not claim innocence. The mother of two shot her husband, an Atlanta police lieutenant, over a dozen times.
He was reported missing Sunday. His truck found at Hartsfield Airport 4 days later.
Then tried to cover up the crime.
There may have been an ongoing domestic situation between Lieutenant Overstreet and his wife.
Although she says she endured years of physical and mental abuse, she did not use that as a defense. She pleaded guilty to manslaughter.
It's so hard to let yourself off the hook.
Cases involving domestic violence are more complicated than most people may assume.
We have a hard time forgiving ourselves.
The guilt of his death is always with her, and every day she says she still misses him.
A lot of times we're heartbroken about taking someone's life.
Serious and violent offenses, lock them up. Lock them up. When it comes to non-violent and low-level offenses,
Even when it's domestic conflict.
well, but if it's domestic conflict and it results in a dead body, somebody's got to go to prison.
You can't put that into years because you've taken the remainder of whatever that person had.
Shopping in Aaron's is a joy.